Shimasu. Okay, Senpai, let's start with Zazen. Focus your mind. Use the steps that we talk about for Zazen. Each out breath is a releasing, relaxing breath. Okay, so we'll do just a little bit of a warm up before we bring the boken in. Okay, hanging out. So that's the opposite of standing up, uptight. You want to hang out. Let those knees bend a little bit. Let the weight sink into the lower body so the upper body is tall and open. So the lower body is rooted, stable, upper body is open and light. And actually a really good imagery, really good symbol that describes this and explains this is a tree. From here down are the roots of the tree going into the ground. And from here up is the trunk of the tree and the branches. So the head and the arms are the branches of the tree. The trunk of the body is the trunk of the tree. And this is our base, this is our roots going into the ground. So from the hips down are the roots going deep into the ground. Hips up is the trunk of the body, is the trunk of the tree, branches here. So you can imagine a tree sinking into the ground, sinking into the ground, sinking in the ground. And the deeper the tree goes into the ground with its roots, the taller it can grow. Right? Did you know that? The deeper the root system, the deeper the foundation, deeper down the roots grow, the higher, the taller the tree can grow because it has a better and better base. It can't just grow tall, tall, tall without a good base. The wind will blow it over. Same reason why I don't want to just be tall. So here I am standing up nice and tall, but I'm a little bit floaty on my heels and I'm up tight, I'm up too much and I'm not stable. The more I can sink my root, the more I can stabilize my lower body, the more open and tall I can be. Just like a tree. So staying like a tree, if you want to stay with that imagery, I could say, okay, there's now a big wind coming along, and that's why we're doing these arm swings. Moving relaxed and soft. So the tree is moving, the branches are moving, but my roots are still grounded and stable. So that means I wouldn't do this. A good tree. So that's a pretty good imagery, pretty good symbol for what we want for our standing and even when we're moving. And then alternate hip turn. So you turn your hips towards the empty leg. And then big step forward. Make that a nice long stance. That'll help us warm up. And we really want to warm up those shoulders because we'll be using the boken. Other side. Good. Hip circles getting bigger and bigger each time until you're scraping the walls with your hips. Other way. And then do that with your head, rolling your head in front. And then back a little bit. And rolling your shoulders. Really big movement. And rolling the other way. Okay, step forward, long stance, arch. And then reaching forward, down. Touch down with the knee, press the hips forward. And then arch from there. And up. Tenkai or switch feet. Long stance. Big arch. Big reach forward and down. Stretch the back of the leg. Touch down with the knee. Push the hips forward for a good stretch in the hips. Arch back from there. Forward and up. Horse stance. Press into the ground to swing your arm sideways. That's not your arms doing it, right? It's because of the legs, the rhythmic pulsation through the legs. And then big circles. Big circles the other way. Good, and just hang the arms slowly. Keep those knees bent. And trunk rotations. One way and then the other way. Good. A circle underneath you. Bring the hips forward. Press the elbows back. Push the palms forward. Bend down into the hips. Circle underneath you. Pressing forward with the hips. Pulling the shoulders back. Pressing the palms forward. Good. Now, angling to the back corner for a good stretch. Stretch equally through both arms. Walk your feet in and out. In and out. Good. Onto one leg. Other side. On the heel, toes up. And press that other knee out with your elbow. For a nice stretch. Hang down between the legs. Then squat, press your knees out. And then rotate your knees in figure eights. And then the other direction. Good. Now inch your feet in again. Raise your knee, swing your arm sideways. Nice good breathing in the abdomen. Good. Let the arms hang gradually. Okay, get your bokin. Hold it on the right side. Blade up, of course. So we'll need to stagger the line. That's right. Okay, we're going to bow to the Shoben wall. Blade towards you. High bow. Left side. Left side now. Bow thighs up. Draw the sword. Now let's review. Forward stance. Seigan. Remember, your wrists are on top, not on the sides. Not grabbing from the sides, grabbing on top. So the V of your hand is right directly on the handle. Hold mainly with last two fingers and thumb. Squeeze forward, squeeze out, like you're squeezing the toothpaste out of the tube. Seigan. Chudan. And that's all the backhand. Remember, steering. My gate on. So that's the left hand steering it in front of the right knee. Gakyu gate on. Left hand pushes through to get Gakyu in front of the back knee. Chudan gate on, right down the middle. Chudan gate on. My gate on. Ushiro gate on. Ushiro Chudan. Haso. You want to slide in your front foot back a little bit. Haso. Now for Ushiro Jodan, you might have to check. You might have to angle the tip back a bit, like I have to angle my tip back. I can't have it very high, so I have to angle my tip back more than I normally would. Step forward for my Jodan. Seigan. Chudan. Seigan. My Jodan, but check to make sure first. It might have to angle further back like mine. Ushiro Jodan. Shoulders down. Also, check behind you when you do Ushiro Chudan. Make sure you have room. And make sure it's straight, not tilted down, not tilted away from the body, straight back. Ushiro gate on. My gate on. Gakyu gate on. It's all left hand. Chudan gate on. Chudan. Seigan. Okay. So it sounds like you do have room for Shomen. Let me know if you do not. If you don't have room, let me know. And then we'll adjust. I have to be careful where I'm at. We'll see here. So first Shomen, just the front foot sliding. Remember, when you slide forward, watch out for leaning forward. That's going to tend to happen, especially when you're swinging a weapon. It's way out there in front of you. They'll tend to pull you forward. So you have to counter that, keep your hips forward. I'm going to exaggerate a little bit. I push my hips forward so that I stay straight. So watch out for this. Okay, follow the count. So front foot, keep the hips under the head. Each. And we'll finish to Chudan. Okay. Ni. San. Shi. Nice and straight. Whoa. Hands right on top. Extend your mind through the weapon. Extend your mind from your hara, from your center. Extend your mind and your energy out through the tip. Oh. Roke. Siege. Hach. Ku. Ju. That's looking pretty good. Okay, one thing I want to mention, sometimes I'm seeing the sword going too far back. Remember that? The maximum is 90 degrees. That's the maximum. So anywhere from 45 degrees to 90. But I don't want to drop it here. You guys remember why. If it's dropped more than that, I'm just too open. It'd be like if I'm doing showman, empty hand showman, and of course all our strikes, empty hand strikes are based on weapon strikes. It'd be like if I did showman like that. If I did showman too far back. If I came towards you like this, you'd pop me right here. It's too easy, it's too obvious, it's too open, right? So I wouldn't do this. So what the sword teaches me, I want to do this so that I'm behind my strike and I'm protected by my strike. I stay behind my strike. I move in behind my strike. I move in behind my strike. I don't move in and strike. You see that opening? I don't move in and then strike. I move in behind my strike. So that's what we want to learn from the sword. So rather than this, it's a little too open. So for the next minute, I want you to practice on your own showman, and stop and actually turn and look. Stop, turn and look. Oh, that's too low. Until your body gets the feeling, until your body knows the feeling of what's too low. So go ahead, 1 minute on your own time. And sometimes look behind to double make sure. Yeah, Odin, that's a nice smooth cut. That's good. Okay, now for the next three strikes, I want all of you to stop and look. Next three strikes, everybody stop and look. Check your own sword to the rear. Go ahead. Stop and check. Okay, hold on. Okay, don't check like this. Don't check like that, because you'll probably bend over back, right? So, and then you're dropping the sword more. So check by keeping your hands there and turning, a little tenkai. That's how you check, a little turn. Yeah, Titus, that's how you check. Do a couple more like that. That's right, Siler. Odin and Kyla, I want you to turn a little bit, turn to the side and check at the back there. That's it. A couple more like that. Good. And so if you're right at that 90 degrees, if you're right there at 90 degrees, you don't have to go quite that far. Like if you're going to 90 degrees and not going lower, then that's fine. But you don't have to go all the way back to the 90. You can go close to it. You don't have to always go to the 90. Okay. So if you go not quite 90, if you go less than 90, you have more speed and less opening. Okay, let's do together again with the count. Shomanuchi, front foot slides. Make sure the back heel doesn't come off. That's going to create problems. Back heel stays anchored. In fact, we're not moving the back foot, but we don't want the back heel to become light. Hips forward. Here we go. Starting in Seigon, but we'll cut down to Chudan. And then everything will come from Chudan from there on. Each. Ni. San. Shi. O. Rok. Sich. Hach. Ku. Ju. Okay. Only thing is, Odin, your front foot did not move once. Your front foot did not move at all. So we know that's not proper Shomen, right? 10 more. Ready? Each. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rok. Sich. Hach. Ku. Ju. Okay, Titus and Kyla, your sword's going back a little bit too far. It's going a little bit past that 90. So we want to shorten it, a fair bit. Ready? You're going slightly too far. So make it a lot shorter backswing. Ready? Forward stance. Each. Ni. San. Squeeze your little fingers and thumb. Shi. Energy out through the tip. Go. Weight low in the hips and legs. Rok. Sich. Hach. Ku. Ju. Titus and Kyla, that was a very good correction. Very clear correction. Very good. Now, next Shomenuchi, as you know, is a full slide step. And there's even more of a tendency to be pulled forward because now you have more movement, more momentum, and even more of a tendency for that back heel to come off because now both feet are moving. So that back heel is going to have more of a tendency even to come off. So remember that back heel is going to stay flat. And I stay vertical, hips under the head. Ready? So the first bringing of the sword back, we slide the front foot back, and then we go into our first slide step forward. Each, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, ju. Very good, very good. Slide step back. Slide step forward into Shiko. So full cut. So that looks like this. I slide back with front foot, slide forward, and sink. Front foot slides back, full slide step forward, sink, nice and straight. And come up in Seigon. Ready? Each. Ni. Make as big an arc as you can, as big as you can make it without any leaning. As big an arc as possible. San. Shi. Go. Seigon. Rok. Okay. Now, Shiko. Shomen. As that knee comes down, that's your power, right? To cut. Again, want to make sure we don't clomp down and lean. Hips forward, head back. So you probably only have room to do maybe 2 or 3 or 4 shiko, and then turn around. When you turn around, make sure you don't hit anybody. Do 2 or 3 or 4 shiko back. So I'll demonstrate. I can only do about 2 or 3 or 4 shiko here as well. So I'll demonstrate. Cut as you drop the knee. Oh, I've only got room for 2. You hear me, Tenkan? And I've only got room for 2 shiko. That's okay. 1 shiko, 2 shiko. You hear me, Tenkan? 1 shiko, 2 shiko. You hear me, Tenkan? Dozo. Yeah, you just turn around to shiko back. So Titus, you can just turn around, do cuts back. Once more, there and back. Control your bokken, nice clean cut. Finish that chudan, nice clean cut. That's good, guys. Okay, now, tachiwaza. Standing. Remember, we touch down with the ball of the foot first. Not stepping with the heel first. That makes you lurch forward and uncontrolled falling into each step. So more controlled stepping and more stealth-like, more stealthy is not on the toe per se. It's on the ball of the foot. Ball then heel, ball then heel. And I stay at the same level, and it's a much softer step and more controlled. So I'll demonstrate that. And then bring the tip up so it's safe, away from anybody. You hear me, Tenkan. Then I put it back out to Seigon. I step with the back foot first. So now standing, I have room for 3 steps, 3 Shomen. I bring the tip up when I turn around. I start in Seigon. I bring the tip up for my Irimi Tenkan. Now, like we mentioned before, when you step, make sure you don't raise the sword, step forward and then cut, because then you're open when you step forward. So you enter in behind your cut. So your cut is your defense as well. So not this, step and then cut, step, cut. You can get me at that point. Instead of that, it's I cut as I step. I enter in behind my step, or behind my cut rather, behind your sword. Yeah, go ahead, do a few. Go ahead. Dozo. Keep your knees nicely bent. Drop your weight. Remember the tree imagery. Solid, stable, rooted. Yeah, Siler. That's the imagery. Nice clean cuts. Good, you're keeping, Odin, nice. You're keeping your weight nice and low. Very good. Couple more laps there and back a couple more times. Titus, you're keeping a nice knee bend. Very good. Okay, good. Yokomenuchi. I'll do a little bit in front here to the camera so you can see. Remember, we raise the sword to protect the head. Remember that? It's been a while since, again, we've done weapons work, so I need to review this. Because what tends to happen is this, right? People bring it up their side, up their shoulder, and all that time, the head is open and available and exposed. All this time, the head is available, or the neck, or the shoulder. So I don't bring it up to do a cut. I do the rooftop block to protect my head, and then maybe I'll do the cut. I raise the roof, and then I do the cut. So I enter in underneath my roof. I enter in underneath my roof. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you'll need to stagger the line for this. To stagger the line. Yeah, Siler and Odin, if you come forward a bit. Okay, let's try a few together. I'll talk about the footwork, because we, again, might be a little bit rusty on this. Start in Seigan, of course. We'll break this down. Left foot comes up, left hand comes up to create the rooftop block. Right leg comes back, and that's the cut. And that's the left hand, right? Left hand's driving that. And just a little angle, not a big angle, not a baseball bat angle, just a little tiny bit different than Showman. And we finish, not down here, we're going to finish at Seigan. Now, right leg comes up, left hand pushes through for a rooftop block on this side. Left leg comes back, that's for the cut. Left leg and left hand does the cut. Just a slight angle, finish at Seigan, not chewed on, not gate on. Left foot comes up, left hand comes up, rooftop block. Right leg comes back for the cut. So the right leg draws the left hand. Right leg goes up, left hand pushes through, rooftop block. Left leg comes back, drawing the left hand back for the cut. Each knee, each knee, each knee, knees bent, each knee, 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 each knee. Okay? Do that in Swariwaza, in Shiko. So I'll demonstrate. Quick review. I'm going to cover the side that advances. So when my right knee comes up and goes forward, that's the side I'm going to cover because that's going forward. So that's closer, that side's closer to the other person who also may have a long sword. So because that's going closer, that's advancing, I'm going to cover that side. So when I raise my right knee, I'm covering on the right side. And notice how it goes straight up above my head. Doesn't take the long way around. Doesn't take the long route. It's directly protecting the head. So, comes up on the same side that comes up. Dropping that knee as before is the power to cut, but comes down at a slight angle. Raising this knee, I cover, protect that side. And then dropping the knee is the power for the cut. Again, only have room for two. Advancing side, I cover straight over the head. Dropping the knee is the power for that cut. Cover the advancing side. Drop and cut. Raise the tip. Turn around. Looks like this. Raise the tip, turn around. Let me do a few towards the camera. Please watch carefully. I start in live toes, on my knees, I start in Seigan. As I advance with that right side, I cover that right side. Dropping that knee is the cut. Advancing side, I protect. Dropping that knee is a cut. Raise the tip so I can turn around safely. Okay, so I want you to do that. Take your time to make sure you have space around you. Remember to point the tip up when you turn around for safety, space reasons. Don't let the sword drop to your side. Raise it over your head. So Titus, you're letting it come up from way down here. So yes, directly over your head, like you're making a roof. Way better. Nice. Make sure there's room between you. Good. Okay. Now we'll do Tachiwaza. I'll demonstrate. So, advancing side, I cover. Advancing side, I cover, just like in Shiko. I raise the tip to turn. Seigan. Advancing side, I cover. Again, stepping with the ball of the foot for a nice, smooth, aware stepping. Light and smooth. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead. Make sure there's room. Yeah, you covered the advancing side. That's right. So Titus is the other way. The leg that goes forward, that's the side you're covering. That's right, Siler. You're working that out. That's it, Odin. You corrected that. Good job. Good correction, Odin. Very good. That's right, Kyla. You got it. Kyla, you got the coordination there. That's it. Okay, good. So that's a good start on a good review. Cleaning up some of the rusts, getting reacquainted with basic Boken work, which we want to take into our empty hand work. Same clarity of posture, same clarity of lines, same strong focus and awareness. All that improves not only our empty hand Aikido, but when we go out into the world. So we're more clear, we're more present, sharper, more aware. So let's do a high bow to the Shomen wall, blade towards you. Right hand side, blade up, of course, right hand side, so that we can do a full bow to each other. Good. Let's put the boken to the side. Remember the tip pointing away from the Shomen wall, tip pointing to the back wall, and blade to the side wall. Let's do a little bit of breathing. Hang out, knees bent. Remember the roots. Deeper and deeper into the ground. So our upper body can be relaxed and open. Breathing in, like branches of a tree reaching out. Breathing out, everything settling back. And stay at the center with your mind and your breath. It's deep in your core, right below the belly button, deep in the core of the body. Each out breath is a releasing breath. Okay, let's bow out, Senpai. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. Senpai, good work. Excellent review. See you next time.